What's up, nail besties? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I created these spooky cat eye bat Frenchies. I hand painted all of the nail art on this set. I feel like they came out so cute, perfect for Halloween, especially if you love like that spooky glam kind of look. I'm not usually into cat eye either, but I found this new cat eye magnet where you could do different styles, so I'm kind of like getting back into it because I really like the way these cat eye nails look. We'll get into how to use it later on, but let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So right now I'm prepping my nail. I'm using Mia Secret dehydrator and 2 coats of Young Nails protein bond to prep my nails. I shaped up my stiletto nail tips off camera and I cut them down a little bit because they were a little bit long. I feel like the bat French looks really good with the stilettos, so that's why I'm doing stilettos today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the second coat of primer and then wait for that to dry so that I can start applying my acrylic. I'm gonna be just building up my nails with this acrylic shade from Mia Secret. It's called Cover Nude Blush because most of the nail art is going to be done on top of the nails. Normally I use this color for ombres, but today I'm going to be building up the nails with it, and it does kind of shear out a little bit when you're trying to build up your nails with it, so I kind of have to add little beads here and there to build up the color. And I found it was best to use my 3-bead method when I was using this color because the color comes out a little bit more even when you do a 3-bead method. I was trying to do the 2-bead method to make it a little bit faster, but it wasn't really working out because I had to go back in and add more beads anyway. You do regardless, but the 3-bead method, the color comes out a little more even and you don't have to apply it in patches as much. So usually I apply the first bead by the free edge of the nail to build that up. The second bead is where the tip and the natural nail meet to start building my apex, and the third bead is the cuticle bead to further build the apex. And when I went to the next nail, I kind of just started applying it lower on the nail, and that's how it was able to even out the color a little bit better. You kind of have to just work with different brands and their colors. Like I said, I like using this color for ombres, but building up the nails, it kind of shears out. When you're doing ombres, it doesn't really do that for some reason, but when you're building up the nails, it does. I don't know, it's weird. And then I also work with the acrylic until it dries, patting the sides and stuff to keep the shape of the nail. And as you can see, I just add in a little small bead wherever I need to just build up the color. And I finally purchased a new acrylic brush. I got this acrylic brush from Shein and I like it so far. It does kind of like drop little hairs here and there like when you're trying to work, but it was like really inexpensive. The only thing is it didn't come crimped, so I crimped it myself, and it almost is identical to the one that I used before but way cheaper. I only paid like $8 for this brush, and after I crimped it and made it really flat. I can't stand like acrylic brushes that aren't crimped. They need to be like super flat, otherwise it's like really hard for me to work with them. So I went ahead and took the pliers and pinched it really hard, and I got a size up because their sizes kind of run a little bit small. So far it works really good. I unboxed this one on my TikTok. Okay, so now that the base on the nails is all done, I'm gonna go ahead and start filing my nails really quick so that I can go ahead and start doing the nail art. So for these, I'm just gonna use a 180 sanding band. I applied the acrylic pretty neat, so I didn't have like ridiculous amounts of filing to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shape them up really quick with this sanding band. So I'm just going around the cuticle a few times to seal around the cuticle and basically just smoothing side to side over the entire nail, all the way down the nail to smooth out like any unevenness on the nail. I also file underneath the nail and along the sides to kind of redefine the shape of the nail. When I turn my nail to the side, you can see the structure of the nails, especially on this set. You could see it really good. You see I have the hill for my apex. That's the stress point of your nail. That's where your nail gets most of its strength from, and then it gets gradually thinner towards the free edge. But you're always going to want a decent amount of thickness on the free edge depending on the length of your nails. As you can see, I do have some thickness at the free edge, but it's not as thick as my apex. It kind of just like gradually gets thinner as it goes down to the end of the nail. And then when you look down the barrel of the nail, which I didn't show, but when you look down the barrel of the nail, the sidewalls should be thin. You should still have product on them, but they should be thin. You could probably see when I turn my hand to the side.
Winnie. Winnie. Winnie.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out really quick so that I can start shaping up the nails and you guys can actually see, because most of the time I'm out of frame when I don't even realize it, but this time I was in frame, thank God. So I'm gonna go ahead and shape up my nails with this 180 grit hand file. So for stilettos, you just want to hold your file at an angle and just file in towards the tip of the nail and keep doing that until you're satisfied with how pointy they are. For this set, I didn't want them to be really pointy, so I kind of made them in the middle and then just rounded off the edges because I didn't want them to be really sharp. Then I'm going to go ahead and buff over the entire surface of all my nails to get out any scratches and smooth out any rough edges. I found these cute little heart buffers from Shein. They are kind of small, smaller than I thought they were going to be, so it was a little bit hard to hold, especially because I have long nails, but they do a really good job at buffing your nails. You kind of just have to like work with them, but they do get into like really tight areas, so I do really like them. So this is the cat eye gel polish that I'm going to be using. It's a purple cat eye gel with a teal and pink shift. It's really, really pretty. I love this so much. I almost forgot that I had it, but I wanted to do something different, so I thought to use the purple one. And this is the 5-way cat eye magnet that I got. It has all these different like magnets that you could use. I'm going to be using the round one today. So I'm going to start painting the fringe. I'm going to use my detail brush. The formula of this cat eye gel is a little bit thin, so you kind of have to trace over your lines a little bit with it, but you can actually build it up on one coat. You just kind of have to work with it, especially since I already have a base down. It made it a little bit easier. So what I do is outline how I want the smile line with my detail brush and then fill in the tip with the polish brush out of the bottle. Then I go back in with the detail brush and get the corners and then just kind of like tighten up the smile line a little bit. Before I cure the nails, I'm going to do the cat eye effect. So I'm using the round magnet and I'm running it up and down each side of the nail, and it creates this teal and pink color shift, which looks really cool. When you move your nail, like it shifts colors between purple, teal, and pink. It's so pretty. It almost like reminds me of a galaxy or something, which was perfect for this set since I'm doing like bats and stars and moons and stuff like that. So I feel like it's perfect. I really like it. It kind of also gives like a vertical ombre type of effect without having to do all this extra work. So I am gonna flash cure it so that I don't mess up my nails. But I love this new cat eye like look. You can do like all different designs with it. I still have to try out the other magnets, but I like this one better than that like old just one stripe going across the nail how we used to do when the cat eyes first came out. I was kind of like getting bored of that, but now I'm getting back into it because you can do like a lot of cool styles, and the new cat eye gels they have now are so pretty.
Ringy. Ringy.
Now that the cat eye is done, I'm going to go ahead and start painting the bat French with Madame Glam Perfect Black. So I start by outlining the French that I just did and then drawing a triangular shape, which will be kind of like the body of the bat. And this is a rough outline. You can go in and neaten up your lines later on as you're filling everything in. And then I make 2 dots on the side where I'm going to kind of like map out where I'm going to draw the wings. So after I do that, I go ahead and fill in the triangular shape that I made, and I kind of like neaten up my lines a little bit. Like I said, you can neaten them up as you go. And then I kind of connect the dots to form the shape of a wing and then drag it up and fill all of that in. I always kind of like make a little point and drag it out where I made the dot to give like a more like sharp look of the wings, if that makes sense. As you can see, I draw a line to connect from the triangular shape to the dot, and then I make like a little half C shape to connect to the other dot and kind of drag it up into the line where I outline the French and just fill everything in. And I make like 2 little points coming out from where I drew the dot to make it look more sharper. I feel like it makes the wings look more sharper and neater when you do that. And then I do the same thing on this side, draw a line to the first dot, make a half C shape to connect to the second dot, and then drag the line up into the French where I outlined it in the beginning. Then just draw like little points coming out from the wings.
Ringy.
To do the head on the bat, I use a dotting tool. So I take like a medium-sized dotting tool and just make like a little round shape for the head. Then I go back in with my detail brush and draw the little ears. I really didn't like the way this ear was looking, so I decided to take it off and redo it. I just used a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on my detail brush just to clean that up really quick and wait for it to dry before I go ahead and fix that. I'm also going to be doing the bat French on this nail, so I'm going to do the same exact thing I did the first time, the same exact way, and then go ahead and cure everything. Next, I'm going to start painting the pumpkin. So I'm going to be using this lilac shade from Madame Glam called Angelic Sonata. So what I do is just kind of make the shape of the pumpkin first and then add the details afterwards. So I'm mapping out like how I want the pumpkin to look as far as the size and shape goes. So I'm basically doing a rough outline and then filling that in and curing. Next, I'm going in with Madame Glam Perfect Black and outlining the entire pumpkin and drawing the stem. Then I'm going to draw the lines on the inside of the pumpkin. So you want to make kind of like curved lines coming out from the stem. That's the best way I can explain it. This was a little bit tricky because you want to do them like a little bit curved so it gives a more realistic appearance of a pumpkin. And now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the facial details to the pumpkin. So for the eyes, I'm going to be doing little triangle shapes and filling them in. This is really fine detail, so it was really hard to get that small. But basically you want to draw two little triangles and fill them in. I'm going to cure after I draw these so I don't mess them up. For the nose on the pumpkin, I'm going to be making a little upside down heart. So you want to take a very small dotting tool, make 2 very small dots and kind of connect them. And it's really easy. It turns into a heart. So I'm going to do that. Go ahead and flash cure really quick. To paint the mouth, I'm kind of making a U shape almost and going past the eyes to make it kind of like a creepy smile and filling it in. I'm going to be doing a little vampire pumpkin, so I filled it in just to leave enough space to draw the little teeth on the inside of the mouth. To do the details on the face, I'm going to be using this color from Madam Glam called Bold White. I'm going to be using this to draw the teeth. I'm going to be adding like a little bit of detail to the eyes and the nose just to make everything pop and not look so dull and just like plain black. I'm gonna add some glitter to the stem just to make it look pretty and sparkly. I'm using this glittery shade from Madam Glam called Shine and Thrive. So I basically just go right over the black, and then I add some details to the stem to bring it back out with the black as well. I'm also adding some little 4-point stars. To do those, they're really easy. Make a little dot, then make a vertical and a horizontal line going through them to kind of connect everything and create a 4-point star. After that, I'm going to take my dotting tool and go in and make little dots with the white. On this nail, I'm going to do barbed wire around the small line. So I start by outlining the small line with Madam Glam Perfect Black, and then I'm going to cure that. I find it's easier to outline the French first, cure it, and then do the barbed wire, because then your polish doesn't smudge all over the place. So to do the barbed wire, you basically want to do a pattern of 2 lines and an X, and it kind of gives that look of barbed wire. So you're basically doing that in a pattern all the way around the small line. To finish up, I'm going to top coat everything with some top gel, and as you can see, it brings the cat eye to life and everything looks so pretty. I really love the way these came out. I was originally just planning to do the bat French and kind of just thought of everything else as I went along. I really like these, especially for that spooky glam kind of look. I hope you guys like this set. I've been practicing my nail art, so I've been trying to get better. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe before you leave and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload videos every week. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you guys.